Hello developers, in this video we are going to create React counter app using Vite, and we learn from beginner friendly approach to advanced developer approach. Let's see what topics we are going to cover in this video. It's a state management and use callback to memorize the function to avoid re-rendering, and React.memo memorize the component by creating the folder here. I named it counter app. Okay, so I now created the empty folder and open it with terminal. Open in terminal, and I just want to open it with VS Code, so I just hold space dot. Okay, let's open VS Code the folder, and here we are going to open terminal by clicking this three dots, terminal, new terminal, and we are going to install Vite app at npm create Vite at latest, and I use space plus dot here to avoid name again the folder. This is a package, so we are going with just tab, and now we are going to select framework, so React, and I go with TypeScript. Some experimental, so I go with default no, and install with npm and start now. I go with default S. Okay, so this is the React app folder structure. This is public for holding the assets, and SRC is a source of whole code, and node modules is installed automatically. Before this option we are going with npm I after creating this structure. Okay, now it's also done by automatically, and see, even terminal is started. Just need to follow the link. This is the default app. Inside app.tsx the content is done by senior developers of Vite, and we just call this app.tsx inside main tsx, and main.tsx is connected with index.html. Okay, this is how the app is connected and works. So app.tsx is a component, so it's imported here and used inside main tsx. And inside app.tsx we just look the output of the code, Vite plus React, and the two logos, Vite plus React, and there is button for counter, and we are going to now delete the unwanted codes like this. I remove the Vite logo from here and also from here. Okay, and split the code as much as, and always make the command to get understand after certain weeks whenever you came back and see your code. Okay, it is counter React app. Okay, I rename it inside the h1, so it's counter React app. Now we go with counter app. Okay, and here the logo and the shown button. Now we are going to just copy and paste the button twice for decrease and the reset functionality. Decrease button, and it's a reset button, and decrease button. Decrease button we are just -1 that, and reset always reset to 0 because defaultly we are going to 0, and we also want to show the output. So I want to cover the whole buttons inside this div, and inside the card I want to create two divs. One is for showing the count values, and the other one is like displaying count value. It's a control buttons of functionalities. Functionalities of count. Okay. So we just recreate it. We are not overall delete the file which was defaultly done by Vite developers. So we just save it and see how it's look. If we decrease, it works. If we reset, it works. Increase, okay. So the button is, there is no gap between buttons, and we just open app.css, directly get down to end buttons. Yeah, now it's okay to difference between the buttons and the space. It's always good practice to use space between buttons. Okay, and it's increasing whenever we click increase button, and it's also decreasing the value whenever we click the decrease button, and it's the functionality we returned here. Even it's going negative values when we click reset, so it's came to default 0. Okay, how it's okay. Count is a state, use state is a state management inside React. Okay, and count is like act as a variable, and set count is going to update the count value. It's like a function. So we use this set count whenever the button is on click, it's set count, and count goes count plus 1. Then it's this function update the value of count. Similar way, minus and reset also work. So there is a logo, and we want to also create one animate, and default it's false. Okay, just go on here, copy this increase button, paste here. It's like a play button, and just update set animate, and here we are going to animate, and not equal to animate. It means it's defaultly come with false. When someone click, it's true. Opposite the value of this going to be set here. Then is it true? Then whenever someone click, it's going to be false. It's like a switch button. The same switch is used for on and off. Okay, it's showing that we have never used animate, so we are going to use inside here. Previously there is animation. It's a spinning animation of the React app. First we entered it's a spinning, like, but now it's not. So we are going to do that by just inside the A tag there is one image only. So inside A there is only one, and there is not two. Previously there was two, and it was logo, only logo. So this code is not needed because we are deleting the Vite. So then we just need to add React here. See logo.react games. So it's on. Okay, and you don't need to delete whenever you install the default app, because they are developers. We will learn from them. See, go and check what is will change and what is prefers reduced motion. You will learn something new. So I highly recommend you don't delete any of the code whenever you install. Just read about that, then delete inside the src function. Okay, src folder. Sorry. Okay. Then just save it, and we're just going to add this, and also okay. Whenever click play, it's rotating, and whenever we again click the play, it's stopped. Okay, it's like a button. So we are going to use conditional based function value count, not count. Sorry for that. I need to use animate. Okay, animate. Whenever it is animate is true, it is going to play. So we are going to add pause. Whenever it is pause, we are going to show play. Play, pause. Okay. Hope you understand clearly. We just add here another name for edit this side guy. So I just want to create some class called animation container. Maybe just copy this, go here, space this, and display flags, flex direction column, gap 1 rem, with 2 rem, we go with 2 rem, and align items center. Yeah, we got it. Okay, we go with 1 rem. So yeah. As spacing by just adding break tag, difference between the counter and the animation part. So whenever we click play, it's playing. Whenever we click pause, it's passing the animation. Okay. Whenever we increase, it increase and decrease and reset. See, we have still a problem here. We don't want to the count number to be negative. So I just here came and use a simple JS logic. Max 0, count 1. Okay. Maximum of this two number will be taken and shown whenever we click the decrease button. It's update the count value based on these two values. What is the maximum value inside this? Okay, one is 0 and another is count -1. So it's always working when we click minus decrease button. It's updating the 0 value. So we want to avoid that by just add disabled equal to count equal to 0. Use simple logic here. Disabled equal to true only when count equal to 0. Okay, so the button is disabled, we are not able to click it again, like this. Now increase, it's able, and whenever we decrease to 0, it's disabled, the button is not able to click. Okay, this is the first approach in this video. Take the whole app into your component. Okay, I just copy this, and inside src I create component folder, and I create sample1.tsx. I just move this code here. Just want to rename the component into sample1. Okay, and just want to add some dots here before this to get this from inside one folder. We are just adding another dot. Okay, but it still works. We can check it by removing the whole code. Just try to import sample1 as a component. I just imported it and just rerun it. It's working fine. So the same way we are going to create sample.2. We just try to copy and paste this here. So in this sample.2 tsx, we are going to use separate of concern. It is an approach used for maintainability and improve the readability, and it's mostly used to avoid the confusion. In a single page, we don't want to write thousands of lines, and we just want to create components separately and also the functions separately. There are a lot of separation of concerns here, so we will look into that. Okay. So see what we can move here. The functions are always inside this above the return. So there are functions like on click, it's update the set animate and set count value by these functions. So we just create the new function, name it, and move it above the return. Okay, const increase. Okay, I always prefer arrow functions. Set count, we just need to get this code, and we can go with increase here and paste inside this. Similar way we want decrease and reset. And there is animate button. We just copy this and see what is super and sample. We just came here, introduce use state management and define the functions here. And we just use button on click calling the function, and we just use conditional operator, ternary operator here to run the animation. And see, this much only code we are going to now. Only 3 buttons and 1 count. So we are going to move this again into separate functions. So we are just use const and display. We can also move to other folder, like how we move component like sample 1 and sample 2. We can import and use this display. So what actually display as just a return h1. So it's don't need to cover with brackets. Const controls and it's returns needed bracket because it has this much of returns. Okay, we just copy this whole and put inside this. And okay, just want import control here and just want to display import here. We don't even want this div tag, I think. Yeah, we just, this is called parent component where sample is sample. Actually we need to rename this also when we created sample. Okay, it's sample 2. Sample 2 is a parent and display and controls are children's. Okay, so we are going to pass our count from parent to child. Okay, count, we are just passing this. And for this increase functionalities, I just use this the same way. We just pass these values to this. So we need to import here as a props count, increase, decrease, reset. Okay, and it's a tsx, so we are going to create type for the props. So I just go with display props and cover with handler count number. Just display props import. The same is go for PROPS props. Okay, here count is number and increase is a function which does not return anything, so it's a void. Similar, decrease is a void and reset also void. Okay, we're just going to connect this. Okay, DCRE. Okay, this is the way in larger application we are building and maintaining the complex systems. We are not going to write the whole within the page, so we use always model or component based approach in React. Hope you already know that. Just want to ensure. Yeah, So we are just going to use sample.2. First command this both sample1, just okay, import sample.2 and see is it working or not. Okay, that's perfectly okay. I just want to ensure it is sample.2 to you. So see it's sample.2. See how sample.1 and sample.2 is here look like. So sample1.tsx is beginner friendly and sample.2.tsx is little bit advanced, like subset of concerns we used here to avoid confusion inside the return.tsx is why it's working and why it's not working. We update the function to the above return statements. We define the functions here and state managements here, and we use separate components. It's both are children's. We are just passing that, and parent to child to parent is here in this sample working. Sample 2 is working. Display count value is going to get from parent element and it's written as 2. Okay, and controls the same way count is getting by this, and count we need here because we are disabling this button, right? That's why we need here count, otherwise we don't need here count. Increase decrease is set. We just want to trigger from child to parent. That's we are using here. Whenever we click this button, it was triggered to this, and this increase is directly connected to this increase, and this increase is the function actually make the changes to the count by set count. So this is how it works, and yeah, this is looking simple sample.1, but it's not an efficient way for growing applications. And just want to create another sample. Here we are going to use just copy and paste sample.2, but here we are going to learn more a new concept. Here we are going to use and optimize the page. I will show. Okay, just I'll try to get it. Okay, I slow it down. See in sample.3 just the two states and functions are defined here, the same in sample.2. The animations also here and the same h1 and two children's of sample tree. Okay, that display props and control props. We are building type safety here. And we just want to add how it is rendered. Okay, you want to know, we just go with the CLG, just shortcut of control.file. I just write display is rendered. Okay, the same way I go to controls, just I turn controls display into controls. Okay, we just done this, and we also need to ensure always whenever we importing and try to import new things. Okay. Sample.tree is imported now and it is saved into app.txt. Okay, I just opened the developer tool or browser controls by pressing F12. Somehow it's going to show, even I don't know how it's okay. And okay, whenever I refresh the page, it shows with connecting, display is rendered, and control is rendered again. This is by the use of stick mode only. The app.tsx is covered inside stick mode in main.tsx. Stick mode is a development enabled function. It's re-rendered twice whenever we use to avoid production bugs in React. And display and control. See, display and control, both components. Okay, whenever the controls is change the value of the count, the display need to be changed. If increase, it should 1 when it's reset it show to 0. When I just click decrease it's going to show 2. So we know controls and display both are interconnected by because the count value both needed from the parent. Okay, so whenever I click this it's going to render display and control because display is above the control. That's why this control is always above the controls, display control. Okay, and we know it's working properly, right? And we just try to check by clicking the animate. See, animate is separate like component, we don't need anymore here, right? It's not used by display or controls, even though it's re-render the whole component. So we will see how. I just click play. See, display and control is rendered, and when I click pause it display is rendered and control is rendered again. So why this happens? And we don't want to re-render the control and display component again. Okay, and it affects the performance if the application grows more larger. So we are going to avoid it by using React.memo. First, whenever the props get by some components, it does not need to re-render again without the components changes. Okay, so we just want to cover the component by React.memo. I just import React here. Okay. React.memo. Just want to cover whole component inside this. So now we are going to check it again. So I just remove the console and just refresh it. See, now display is rendered and control is rendered. When I click play, the control is rendered, but display is not rendered. Why? Okay, because display only gets the value from sample tree. It's getting count value, and the count value is not changing here when we click play or pause, so it's not re-rendered. The same way controls also get the count value, and the count value is not changing, so it does not render again. But why it's rendered here? It's because of increase, decrease, reset. These are the functions inside this component. Okay, whenever the component changed the state like this, used false to true, true to false, and 0 to 1, 1 to 0, the whole component is rendered. Okay, whenever the component is rendered, the function is initialized, reinitialized, so it has different reference number which is totally different from this reference number, so it's rendered again. So we are going to avoid this rendering by just the same way, cover the whole function by use callback. We just cover and go with some dependencies. Whenever we want to memorize the function, we use callback. Whenever we want to memorize the component, we use React.memo. Okay, I use empty dependency because the increase reference ID does not need to change again and again, even the value of count is changing. Okay, the same way is applied to these three functions. So I just want to show now. So I just remove this control dot and just one time refreshed. See, display and control is rendered. Now we have played this, nothing is going to be rendered, like display or control is now optimized. Okay, when we click play and pause again and again, the state is changing and the component is re-rendering. But even though React get the value, because we use callback and React.memo, it's stored that so that these components does not going to re-render. So we are going to avoid this re-render by using this use callback and React.memo. This is a good approach to do when large applications are grown. Okay, and when we click increase, it definitely going to work. When we click decrease, it is going to work. When we click reset, because these are dependent component on sample tree, and it does not dependent on animation anyway. But animation is just like toggle button, like in the big application there is some toggle button to toggle between dark mode and light mode. I think if we click dark to light to dark, the whole application re-renders. It may cost much more, so we are going to avoid that by this way implementing. Okay, see, in sample.1.tsx we just use the counter app. In sample.2 we just use separate of concern by separate functions above the written and separate components. In sample.3 we optimize it by use callback and React.memo. Okay, so I hope you guys now understand and enjoyed. Thank you.